The Super Dane is in the beam!
You're watching the behind the scenes for Video Game Video Archive Season 1 Episode 4, Meet the Robinsons, on the Nintendo Wii. I came up with the idea to review this game because I needed to make another Video Game Video Archive episode, and that just happened to be something that I made a Let's Play on a few months ago, a couple months ago. And at first I was reluctant because, you know, I already did a Let's Play of it, but I just decided to go with it because I needed to put something out, so that's what I went with. And I thought it'll be really easy because I don't have to get that much, I don't have to record any new footage from the game. I can just use the footage from the Let's Play. This was the first video that I actually scheduled out. I planned ahead all of the pre-production, the production, and the post-production. Because Myst was my last big project, and filming that and everything was just a total nightmare because I didn't plan, and I was editing as I was filming, and I didn't really know what to do. I started filming before I finished writing the storyboard, so I knew that I needed to plan ahead this time, so that way I can get it out. And it took like 2 weeks to make this video, maybe a week and a half, and that's pretty good, considering how long it took to make Myst, which I'm guessing was about like maybe a month. Once I finished the script, I scheduled out on my calendar how I'm planning to film this and everything. I started filming it on the 15th of April, and I went through that week, and I needed something to upload, so I just made a quick gaming video. Those are quick and easy to make. This time I did Counter-Strike Condition 0, deleted scenes. So I started editing on the 19th, and I was editing up until the 24th, the day before I released it. Filming in an apartment complex can have its... There aren't really any pros, but there's a lot of cons to filming in an apartment complex. You've got people that are just walking around because like everybody lives here. Also, sometimes neighbors will complain about things. Like for the Super Crew Halloween special, we got a call from the apartment office that someone was complaining that we were standing on their garage because there's a scene in there where Gabe pushes Aiden off of this rock tower thing, and to get that I stood on the roof of the garage, so I guess someone was afraid that I would fall in the garage. I don't know. And then near the end, during the Charlton Bruce sketch, Aiden picks up a rock and then just walks forward with it, and he puts it back down. That's it. And apparently someone thought we were throwing multiple rocks.
Trick or treat. A rock? Who throws a rock?
We weren't even throwing rocks. It was just one rock we weren't even throwing. You just gotta say, yeah, I'm sorry, that was me. You can't really argue with that. And then sometimes you'll get a smoker smoking next to your chute. It's the most and you know, that's just not a good time, having to inhale that while you're trying to give a performance. For the shot of Norgib standing on the car, we were gonna use green screen outside, but just out of nowhere, the wind just picked up and it was blowing the green screen all over the place, so we just had to take it down. All of the compositing I had to just rotoscope. The only green screen that we used was for the end, where I go back to prehistoric BC times with the dinosaurs, Jurassic period. For Video Game Video Archive music, most of the time my background music will just be music from video games, because it just seems to work the best. Because that music doesn't really tell much of a story as like my music that I write, where the chord progressions are a bit more dramatic and distracting from when I'm talking. Most of the time I'll try to only use original music, because I like to say, if I'm putting all this effort into making this film, I might as well just make an original soundtrack for it, so that way I can say, yep, I made this. Or instead of, did you make the music? Well, yes and no. I did the music for this part. This part's not my music. For this part, I took a MIDI file and I edited it so that, you know, you don't have to deal with that. Just make your own original music. And if people ask, did you make the music? You can just say, yeah, I did. And that's the end of the conversation, hopefully. And yeah, I don't normally score video game video archive because this is the first VGVA video that has an overarching storyline. So, visual effects. For the car, I used Adobe Dimension, which literally just came out. Just came out of beta like last month, I think, maybe 2 months ago. It's really new. It's just a 3D rendering program. You put in a 3D model, it renders it. Pretty simple, and it's really good too. Back when it was called Project Felix, it would take forever to render something, like it was Blender or something. I would just be like, okay, I'll set aside an hour and a half to render this alarm clock. So I thought it was the same for the retail release version. So I had set aside Monday for doing all the car rendering, and I click render, and it renders in 2 minutes, which is amazing. So it's just like, okay, next one renders in 1 minute. So then I have the 2 cars and I'm done. I just have to finish, I just have to composite them in. For the first scene, you can probably see how it's done. I just move the car up, and then, yeah, you get it. The second shot, you see, it looks 3D, but it's not. I just render 1 frame, because this program is new, it doesn't have animation yet, just still frames. I render 1 frame, and I move it around. To get that 3D effect, I applied the echo effect on there, and I either chose for the compositing maximum or minimum. It was probably maximum to give it that stretchy look. And I move it out in 3D space, and I lens flare, whatever, it's gone. And then a little pond ripple effect to look like a shockwave, I guess. Oh yeah, the model for the car I got off of Turbo Squid's public domain section. The first teleport scene I did, it was the most elaborate. I fade in like a white image with a ignite flare on it. It fades into the D-res filter, and then I use a morph cut to morph it into the actual video of me moving, of Norgib moving, not me, because they're 2 different people. But for the other shots, I was a bit lazy, and I just settled for a sort of effect. I made all the sound effects in Reason 10 using preset synths. That's about it. I hope you like this behind the scenes video. This is the first behind the scenes video that I've made. You can tell me if you want to see some more, if you want to. You don't have to tell me, but because I know that you really do. Goodbye!